ShartimusPrime, ShartimusPrime. Reading comics, toys are hella sick, hella whacking it, taking bad hits, taking bad shit. Subscribe.
Alright, you just toasted this up. Hey, what's up you guys? ShartimusPrime here, doing another vehicle review on the Bratz Rock Angels Cruiser. The only girls with a passion for fashion are the Bratz dolls. And that's why I'm an avid Bratz doll collector. Because I'm all about fashion. I'm all about rock and roll around town. Yeah, I love that stuff. Anyway, this is a somewhat controversial item over here, especially with the Marvel Legends Ghost Rider Engine of Vengeance figure and people talking about the prices of different vehicles that fit the 1/12 scale. So me being a 1/12 scale collector, wanting to put Marvel Legends in a vehicle, well, I saw this over here and I was like, oh yes, I'm gonna get it. I saw Book Nice 10 post a dope ass picture of his hammerhead with it on Instagram and I was like, okay, I'm buying it. So Book Nice 10, yeah, you made me seal the deal on getting this thing right over here. So it says Bratz Rock Angels Cruiser. You actually have this leathery texture printed on there, so that looks pretty neat. On the back, it has, let's see, it has light up features for the headlights, so that's cool. And it says go for a rock and ride around town. They've recorded their CD. It drops any day. Steering wheel moves. Doors and trunk open and close. And then you get the headlights and taillights and they light up. Looks like you have to put your own batteries in there. The window creeps up to the top like that. And not much more at the bottom. You need 3 AAA batteries. So I need to buy some Chipotle batteries. Oh, you have some nice little foil stuff going on right here with the roses. I like that. But anyway, let's get to it and crack this thing open. But first, trying to get your action figures. You can do so.
Search your feelings, you know it to be true.
Dorkside Toys is a store for you. Link below. And here's the Bratz car out of the packaging, and this thing is awesome. I don't know how else to explain it, but I gotta say this thing is actually really badass and exceptionally cheap, like oddly cheap. But anyway, this thing does have a light up feature, as you can see right over here. You could light up and it shines fairly bright and in the dark and everything. So I actually gotta say this thing's pretty amazing. We do get a little bit of accessories to look at over here, and then we'll take a closer look at the figure. Or the car. It's not a figure, it's a car. So we do have instructions, and you just need 3 AAA batteries to put into the trunk for the light up feature. There is no sound feature on this thing, or any sounds that I found. You do get floor mats, which is kind of neat, so that's kind of cool, but I don't have any use for them, especially because I have to move the seats around inside to get my 6-inch scale figures to fit, but they do look cool and they're soft and rubbery. And then you get your pink flamey stickers. I'm going to give these to my girls. They're going to love them. They're actually going to like them a lot. So let's get a closer look at this thing, because this thing looks really good. I'm just really impressed with how it came out. I really like how it looks. I'll get into the features in just a moment, but yeah, I like that chrome grille and everything. You have some sculpted lines on the inside of the lights right here, and then you have that little ornament right there on the very front. A little minor scuffage on some of the chrome right over. Oh, you can't even barely see it, but I know I didn't do that. Does feel like rubbery tires, so there is a little bit of give when I pinch those, and it does roll very well, of course. You can turn the wheels with the steering wheel. You can see it says Bratz right over there on the side, and I really do like how the red looks. It does have a little bit of a metallic fleck in the plastic, so I like that a lot. That adds some quality to it for me. Then here's looking at the back. You can see right there, and you get the tail lights and everything, and then you have your Bratz sticker showing these 5 rock and roll characters I know nothing about. I think I could just peel this off though, I wonder. Hey, it's starting to peel off. And boom! Alright, sticker removed, and now I have a cleaner trunk right there. Alright, sweet. I already taken all my pictures and stuff, so I guess it doesn't really matter that much. But anyway, you have some nice chrome coming across the top over here around the front windshield, or the only windshield that you get. And then there's all kinds of cool details on the inside over here. And I guess we could just talk about some of the features. Now, first off, I mean, this thing is very cheap in price, and I knew what I had gotten when this rubber piece had come off the steering wheel, like right away. I was like, okay, yeah, I paid very little money for it. This is a cheaper product, but it does have this feature where you can rotate the tires with the steering wheel. So I have one. Here you go. There you go. Now you can see it really churn. So I think that's really neat. I like that feature right there. You can open up both of these doors, so that's great. It comes with the seats sitting like this, and you have a seatbelt that comes around, and it will plug in. So getting it back to where it's supposed to be, you have those two pegs sticking up, and you can clip that in, and then you can have a figure fastened in there. But I never really use this for the Marvel Legends because they sit too far away from the steering wheel, so that's irritating. I wanted to get a look at the interior over here so you can see the speedometer right there, and nice back metal on that steering wheel, and then you can see the console right over here for the radio and everything. And then you can actually shift gears right here with the stick, so that's cool. It doesn't really stay in place, so it doesn't have the notches, but you can move this around, and it's tricky to see, but you have your little switch right here at the bottom, and that's where you can turn on the lights, so I do like that. And then you can take this down right over here so you can give the cops your registration and proof of insurance. That's where I put that stuff in the glove box right there, so that's kind of neat. Now the seats actually look pretty good. They're made out of, fairly hard plastic. Well, there's a little bit of give to them, almost kind of like the tires. Yeah, a little bit. And there's some texturing right here to kind of make them feel like they're supposed to be leather seats, and then this is just kind of flat right there. But you could lift them up right here and then move them in front so you could fit your 6-inch scale figures nicely. I do like that. Moving that out of the way, though, you can see you got your woofers right over here, and then you have a couple of cup holders right in between the two seats. So I do like that. 6-inch scale figure right here. And close that up. I have the lovely Rosario Dawson driving Peter Parker around. There we go. So, yeah, that looks pretty cool. No? I like it a lot, man. That's pretty sweet. Just close the door right there, and yeah, that is quite satisfying. I just, tuck the seatbelt back behind him. Then if you wanted to add other figures back there, you could. I would put like I'm using the Streak body and the Phoenix head just to make up some fashion person, I guess, having a good time, going for a joyride and everything. And then you can also open up the trunk by hitting this button right over here, and then you could go ahead and, throw a worthy victim over here. You could put big time letdown Spider-Man inside the trunk. I'm getting all kinds of Pulp Fiction vibes over here. But yeah, you can go ahead and, he won't stay down. Yeah, he's a little bit too big for the trunk. But if you wanted to create a scene or something like that, you could. And you can see some detail at the bottom of the vehicle right over here too, which also looks really good. And some details on the treads. I mean, this thing is freaking amazing. I don't know what else to say. I think it's actually quite odd that it's as good as it is. Now to measure out this Bratz vehicle, I think I'm seeing this measured at to be 17.5 inches across, almost 18 inches across. This was advertised to be about 25 inches across, but it's actually closer to 18. And then I guess to the top of the windshield, you're looking at about, 5.5 inches tall right over there. And as far as the width goes, you're looking at about 7 inches across. Then for a size comparison, you can see the Bratz car right here next to the Toy Biz Wolverine vehicle over here. And, or car anyway, it's the X-Men sports car. And you can see that this is, I think it's actually pretty fair comparison. They fit into scale and everything. I want to talk about pricing just a moment because I've heard a lot of people compare this to the HasLab Ghost Rider, and I wanted to compare this to the HasLab Ghost Rider Engine of Vengeance as well. First off, really going back to these two right here, I spent about the same price on this vehicle compared to this one. They both cost me about $40. I gotta say, this is a hell of a deal. Like, the $40 I spent on this, I was satisfied. I didn't think it was a hell of a deal or anything, but I thought it was solid. I could fit my 6-inch figures in here. The doors don't open. It doesn't have any features. It just rolls, and it's fine. I was okay with it. Like, for me, as a collector, I was okay with the price that I paid on this thing. It also has some other, goofy toyetic features and everything like that I don't really utilize, but I was okay with it. This right here is an anomaly. Like, what the hell? This is freaking amazing. Now, I do know that MGA owns the rights to Bratz, so there's no licensing fees that they have to worry about or anything like that. Like, it's all in-house stuff over here. On top of it, this is not the same thing as the HasLab Ghost Rider. It doesn't have interchangeable parts. It doesn't have a figure that came with it. And if I were to add all of that stuff to this, I still don't see it being worth $350, just saying. But this is a strange anomaly of a deal over here. I mean, I would have paid double for this thing and still would have been satisfied. If you haven't picked it up yet and you want a car for your 6-inch scale figures, well, I highly recommend it. You're not going to get a better deal than this thing right over here, like ever. This is just absolutely stunning. And then for another vehicle comparison, you can see we have the Bratz car next to the Hasbro World War II Captain America motorcycle, and I think these scale pretty well together. I do like how they look side by side. And then here's the Bratz car, or Lola. I don't know. I'm calling it Lola anyway, because my Clark Gregg figure fits perfectly in there. But yeah, here's the McFarlane Toys 1966 Batmobile, and this is a $25 Batmobile over here. This is a $40 Bratz car. They're about the same length. I mean, yeah, this still has tons more features, and with this being 25 bucks, I feel like their prices are a little bit more comparable to each other. However, I still think this thing is an amazing deal. But again, man, when we're talking about that $350 HasLab Ghost Rider Engine of Vengeance, and then we're looking at $40 here and $25 here, I mean, it's a $400 Engine of Vengeance, right? So $400, $40, what, $30 for this? I mean, dude, 30 and 40 is way lower than 400. I mean, come on. And then I busted out the Batmobile from the Batman v Superman RC vehicle over here. And yeah, I mean, this thing is just a whole separate monster on its own. They're actually about the same length to each other. I can't really fit both of them on camera. I mean, this is definitely a lot longer and everything, but yeah, I just wanted to bring out this Batmobile because holy crap, I still love this thing. It is truly amazing. And one thing I don't think a lot of people talk about with this thing is that I think as far as business goes, it was a failure because this was clearanced at like $100 at a supermarket or something, right? I think Boog Knives 10 picked this up for like $100 clearance. There's no reason for this thing to be so cheap. I mean, this is easily a $400 product, without a doubt. I mean, this is an amazing piece right over here, but it was produced at mass quantity, at mass retail, so they were able to bring their prices down. Just going back to that Costco comparison again, it's a real thing. And then here's Lola next to the Batman animated series Batmobile from DC Collectibles, and I just checked my old review on this thing. This cost me $85 at retail back several years ago. What year was that video posted? 2015. And $85 for this thing, and in that video I said, oh my god, this is a great deal. I really love this thing. This is an awesome deal. I'm very happy with it and all that. I still feel that way about this. So again, 40 bucks over here, still quite amazing that this is as cheap as it is. And it also goes to show, I guess like with licensing and all that stuff, this is double the price of this right over here. However, neither of these are $400. Then here's Lola next to my HasLab Razor Crest, which did cost me $350 plus tax, or does fit the $400 mark, and I've had this for a while. Aside from minor QC issues, I gotta say, I'm very happy with this thing. I feel like it was money well spent. I don't feel ripped off or anything like that. I feel like it was worth the $400 price point after tax and everything, so I just wanted to put something into perspective over here. Then here's Lola next to your average 6-inch scale figure. We have the Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown Spider-Man. Whoa, I know a letdown when I see one, and this is no letdown. Don't mind if I do. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, show some love to the channel by simply clicking that like button. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell. It really does help the channel grow. Believe it or not, those numbers add up, and I want to thank you subscribers. Thank you guys. Now, this is something that I think almost every 112 collector should pick up. Like right now, like for real, dude, like 40 bucks for this thing. Like, it's just ridiculously cheap, and you're getting so much for it. If you wanted a vehicle in your collection, I mean, this is one that you could just easily get. Now, this is not the Engine of Vengeance. I am not saying this is a one-to-one vehicle over here. I think that would be ridiculous to say, like, oh yeah, this is the same thing as the Engine of... Like I said, right when I got this thing out of the box, started messing with it, I had pieces coming off the steering wheel and stuff. I was like, okay, this is gonna be cheaper. I doubt stuff like that would happen if the Engine of Vengeance gets back. I've never had anything like that quite happen to me. Well, I did have a QC thing with my HasLab Razor Crest, but that got replaced. So things could happen. QC issues could happen regardless, I guess. But I know this is not an expensive premium piece. This is a bit of an oddity. I don't know how they're able to make this so cheap, like even compared to other vehicles around this size, it is ridiculously cheap. So I do think it's unfair to compare this to the Ghost Rider, and I think this has been reissued a few times. So if you remember, or at least once, right? So if you guys remember me talking about the quantities of these things getting produced, the cheaper it is, you know? So anyway, outside all of that, this thing is absolutely amazing. At the price point of $37 plus tax and shipping, I'm going to give this Bratz Rock Angels Cruiser a Sud rating of...
I love it!
And I'd like to know what you guys think, so please let me know in the comments section below. If you want to see the latest in action figure news, you can find it all over at toynewseye.com. And if you want to stay in touch with me on social media, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, and whatnot. And I will catch you guys later. Peace!
That's crispy.
Cruiser a Sud raising of... Hey, new ShartimusPrime videos. Hey, you should click one. Yeah, click on one of them. Or subscribe if you haven't.
Your face.